Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will look at magic squares in grid problem, which is from Leetcode number 840, and this is a simple implementation based problem using hash table. So let's now look at the problem statement. In this problem, a 3 by 3 magic square is a 3 by 3 grid filled with distinct numbers from 1 to 9 such that each row, column and both the diagonals all have the same sum. So if you consider a 3 by 3 matrix, then it's saying the top right diagonal, the top left diagonal, and then all the rows 1 2 3 and all the columns 1 2 3, all of them must have the same sum. Given a row by column grid of integers, how many 3 by 3 magic square subgrids are there? And we should note that while a magic square can only contain numbers from 1 to 9, grid may contain numbers up to 15. Right. Now let's look at the first example. In this case, if you see, it is a 3 by 4 matrix where we have 3 rows and 4 columns. So in this matrix of R by C size, how many 3 by 3 matrices can you have? Well, you can actually write 2 loops and find out all the starting points. So let me just show you. If you have a matrix of size R by C, then how many 3 by 3 matrices do you have? So you will have starting point as 0 0, and you can have a 3 by 3 matrix here, or you can slide it and make the starting point as 0 comma 1, and then you will have another 3 by 3 matrix. One time again you can slide and you can say that another matrix will come. So you can slide the 3 by 3 matrix on the row side and also on the column side by one value, by one column value and one row value each time. So if your entire size is R by C, then the last one, the bottom right 3 by 3 matrix will start at R minus 3 and C minus 3. Okay, and we cannot have anything lower than R minus 3 or anything to the right of C minus 3. It will not be possible. Right. So once you know this configuration, then you can generate all the starting points of a 3 by 3 matrix using 2 loops. That means you can have I equals 0 to, let's say, I less than R minus 2 and plus I. You can give something like this. And then inside this for loop you can have another loop which is for j and starting with 0, and j will be less than c minus 2 and j plus plus. So if you have these 2 loops, then I comma j will be the starting point, and for each starting point you have to cover a 3 by 3 matrix. So for that you can have 2 loops again. Okay, or if you don't want to write the loop because the number of elements are very small, you can just take each of the item and just add it, right? So 2 loops will take care of all the starting point of the matrices. Now let's come back to this problem, and in this problem we have to identify the magic matrix, and we have to say like how many magic matrices do we have. We can have 0 or more. In this example, the first 3 by 3 matrix starting from the top is this one, and let's find out the sum. So in order to verify if a 3 by 3 matrix is a magic matrix, you have to take the sum. So let's start with the top right diagonal sum. So you can take this diagonal sum and find out it is 8 plus 5, which is 13 plus 2, 15 sum. Then after this you can verify it with the top left diagonal. It should have the same sum. So it is 5 plus 4, 9, 9, 6, 15. It is the same. Okay, so the diagonal sums are same. Now this same sum can be used to compare with others. So with whom are you going to compare? So let's see. We will be looking at the row sum. Each of the row sum must also be 15. In this case 8 plus 3, 11 plus 4 is 15, and the other 2 rows will also give the same value, and same goes for the column as well. So after this entire check, we will see that all the sums are equals to 15, but this is not the only condition for the 3 by 3 matrix to be a magic matrix. In this case, all the values must be unique, they should not be repeating, and also they must occur in the range of 1 to 9. The values cannot be less than 1 or greater than 9. It should exactly be 1 to 9, and all of the unique elements must be present. So how do you check that? We can write a separate function, and we can take a map there. So in the map I will have a marker for all the values from 1 to 9 and say that none of them are visited. So I will call this map as a scene map. I can take simply an array and do it. Now whenever I see a value, like let's say 4, then at 4, if I had false value, I will make it true that I have seen it. Now if I see 4 again, then I will go to 4 and see that okay, this value is already true. This means that it is a repeating value in the matrix, and so I will return a false value saying that this 3 by 3 matrix is not a magic matrix. Otherwise, I will keep marking the unique values, and I will also maintain a check, an if statement check, where I will see that the value should not be less than 1 or the value should not be greater than 9. If that is also happening in the matrix, then it is not a magic matrix, right? So overall, how many computations are we doing? You see that we are checking the right diagonal plus the left diagonal. Okay, so right diagonal sum, we were finding left diagonal, so all of them are of 3 size. Okay, 3 size, right diagonal, left diagonal, then you have 3 rows and you have 3 columns. So total 1 2 2 plus 3 5 5 plus 3 8 8 times 3 operations we are doing, because 3 items are there, so we have to parse 24 items in order for checking if the matrix is a magic matrix. And after this as well, you have to check for the duplicacy and the uniqueness of the item and the range of item 2. So this will also require one time entire traversal of the matrix. So I can say 3 times 3, that means 9 items are traversed here. So total traversals are, let's say, 33. So I will count it as order of 1, which is constant, right? You can take exactly 33 as the number of operations for one start point. So if I say that this matrix checkup had started at 0, 0, that starting at 0, 0, I will check a 3 by 3 matrix. If it is a square matrix, then in the worst case I will be doing 33 operations. Fine. Now if I say that whether it is a magic matrix or not, I will still be checking the next one. So if you slide one time to the right side, then you will be going to row number 0, column number 1. And again, starting at this point, I have to do 33 operations and keep on sliding to the right. And after that, we will slide down as well. Something like this. Okay. So how many such start points will be present? You know that if there are R rows and C columns, then the last 2 rows and the last 2 columns cannot have any kind of starting point. So total number of starting point can be, let's say, R minus 2 times of C minus 2. So for these many starting points, I will be doing 33 operations. So this is the overall time complexity, and I can say that the time complexity will be order of RC, because I am considering the 33 as a constant. So we need to just implement this idea. We do not need to apply any kind of algorithm here. Just by using simple array or hash table, we can do this. So let's see what is the R and C value. The row and column value is actually very small, which is 10. So if you have order of RC, even if you multiply by 33, R multiplied by C is just going to be 100, and if you multiply by 33, it is just going to be 3300, which is just 3.3 times of 10 to the power of 3. That's it. So this is very small as compared to the limit which is provided, 10 to the power 8 operations. So this is very small. So we don't need to optimize anything here. And you see that each of the grid value is ranging from 0 to 15, right? So we need to make sure that we just have value 1 to 9 in the magic matrix, and all of them must be unique. Nothing is repeating. So I hope this entire thing is clear. Let's now look at the code. If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number. In the main code, we are given the grid, and I am finding the number of rows and columns, and then keeping a counter for counting the total number of magic matrices. And these two loops actually tell me what are the starting points, and then the sum variable will first find the right diagonal sum. So this one, right diagonal sum, for this matrix we will have this 8 5 2 sum. So first find out this sum and then check this against the left diagonal. So this is your left diagonal. Okay, so checking it against the left diagonal, if the left diagonal sum and right diagonal sum is not the same, then I don't need to check anything else. No row sum, no uniqueness check, nothing will be done. You just continue to the next matrix. Otherwise, if they match, then I will go and check the row sum. Row sum means all these 3 rows have to be checked. is it equals to this right diagonal sum, and then the column sum, is it equals to the right diagonal sum. And then we have to also check the single digit uniqueness, that all of the digits, the numbers that we use must be from 1 to 9, all of them must be unique and nobody should be out of range. If all these things are clear, then we will increment the magic matrix count by 1, and we will, after checking for all the starting point, we will be returning the counter. So let me show you how I have implemented the row sum. In this case, we are given the grid and the row column, which is the starting point, and I will be finding the first row sum and then compare it with the second row sum and the third row sum as well. The column sum also calculates in the same way. First calculate the first column sum and then compare with the second and the third one, right? Then if when you come to single digit unique elements check, then in this case we will take an array of size 10 and mark it by default as false, and then we will be traversing through the 3 by 3 size matrix and checking if the value is less than 1 or greater than 9, then it will not be allowed, and if it was already seen, then it is a duplicate element, then still it will not be allowed. We will return true, saying that okay, it is invalid, right? Otherwise we will just mark the element whichever we have seen just now, so that I can keep track of the duplicate. And if everything was good, then we will return false, saying that we will be incrementing the magic matrix count. So I hope this entire thing is clear. If you still have any doubt, then feel free to comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.